Hello friends, how are you? In this video, we'll discuss about introduction to Python programming. Okay, this is what our first video on Python programming. Now, what is Python programming? It's a general purpose high level programming language. General purpose means what we can use in anywhere except the mobile application. We can use Python everywhere. And it's a high level programming language means what? We can understand, we can write easily. Application where you can use it anywhere, literally anywhere you can use it in machine learning, deep learning, data science, natural language processing, internet of things, web applications, database applications, any embedded system, anywhere. Okay, so companies, big giants are using Python. Google, IBM, NASA, Yahoo, so many companies are using Python. Features of Python, it's a very simple. I've used C, C++, Java, but I think for me it's a most simple programming language, and it's open source means it's a free of cost. You can download and you can use it. It's a high level programming language, definitely, and it's a dynamically typed. I'll discuss in detail in dynamically typed the meaning of dynamically typed. It supports both procedural as well as object oriented. Okay, it is interpreted. That means what here? Interpreter is used to convert high level to low level. It is embedded. Embedded means what? We can embed Python in other programming language. So you can embed Python in Java, inside the Java, inside Oracle, inside SQL statement. Okay. Inside C++, we can embed anywhere. We can embed in JavaScript also. And rich inbuilt library is there. Okay, so many functions are there. It is increasing day by day. So the number is increasing day by day. So if you want, you just download those functions and can easily you can use those functions. Now, already we have in a particular video we have discussed about how to install Python, but I want to know the version. So to know the version of the Python, how we can write? So from platform import Python underscore version, Python underscore version. If you print it, if you execute it, it will give the answer. So it will give the answer 3.88. This is the answer. This is the Python version. Okay. Next. Identifiers. What do you mean by the identifiers? So please remember all those terms, very important. Identifiers, keywords. Any name is referred to as identifier. Any name. Maybe the class name, it may be the function name, it may be the module name, it may be the variable name. Any name may be the identifiers. So to define the identifier, we may use small a to small z, capital A to capital Z, 0 to 9, or underscore. We can use anything, but we cannot use dollar sign, we cannot use ampersand, hash, we cannot use ampersand, and so on. We cannot use single quote, double quotes, and so on. Okay, or black slash we cannot use. So we'll see one by one. So here, rules for identifiers. So these are some legal and illegal rules are there. You can see here. If you write boss is equal to 1, first letter is the capital, remaining are small, it is okay. First letter is capital, remaining are small, and the number, it's a 2, it is also legal. All letters are small, no problem. All letters are capital, no problem. First letter is small, remaining are capital, no problem. Uh, First letter is capital, remaining are small, like this, it's okay. And we can print the value. So we can define the variable boss is equal to 1, boss 1 is equal to 2, or directly you can use like this way. So that this much means what? It is a 4, it should store 5, it will store 6, it will store 7. And if you print the content, you can see first boss will be what? What will be the output? The output is 7. Question is why it is so? It should be 1, but here actually it overrides. This boss 1 is override by this boss. This contains 7. So 1 is override by 7. That's why the output is 7. So capital, okay, now boss 1, output of this, it is nothing but 2. Output of this, that means what? 4. Output of this, that is 5. It is 5. Are you getting my point? Then output of this boss, this is what? 6. And finally, another time this boss is there. Both are same thing. That's why output is also same. Okay, so in this way, that variable is overrides here. Okay, and these are few logical. You can use any one of them. It depends upon the programmer. It depends upon your choice. Acha, one more thing, we can use underscore also. Boss underscore 8. We can print underscore boss. It is also okay. High underscore boss. That means end with underscore, starting with underscore, in between underscore is okay, no problem. Double underscore, it is also okay. Before and after double underscore, it is also okay. And if you print it, we can get the output. This boss is what? It is 8. Next boss is what? 9. High boss, it is 10. Underscore boss, it is 11. Underscore boss underscore, it is what? Our 12. That's what it is 12. So if single underscore is there, variable name, then it is called primary variable. If two underscore is there, that means it is strongly primary variable. If first initialize with start with underscore and end with underscore, that means it's a special name. So we will see in it. We will see this one. We will see this one. Okay, so these are called special names. It's called magic method. Achha. So these are few legal. Now you want to know the illegal. So these are illegal. So we cannot write 1, 2, 3 is equal to 60. We cannot like this way. Okay, 1 boss 70. We cannot write because starting with number it is not okay. Then def and if, these are what? Reserved word. Just we'll see what do you mean by reserved word. These are the reserved word. You cannot use reserved word as variable name. Boss, okay, boss underscore boss at the rate boss dollar. These are also illegal. We cannot use for identifier. Okay, so identifier start with single underscore, it is a private. Double underscore, it's a strongly private. Starts and end with double underscore, it is defined as a special name. Okay, next, what do you mean by reserved word? Reserved word means what? To represent some specific meaning or purpose. We reserve some words for specific purpose. We cannot use for the we cannot use as an identifier. So to know the list of reserved word, what we can do? Import keywords. We can import that particular package and keyword.kw list. Keyword list. If you print, we can get the list. So how many keywords are there? If you print it, the output is what? 36. 36 keywords are there in Python. So what are those keywords? Say false, none, true, underscore, page underscore, parser, underscore, and as, assert, async, await, break, class, continue, def, del, else if, else, except, finally, for, from, global, if, import, in, is, lambda, non-local, not, or, pass, raise, return, try, while, with, yield. These are what? The reserved word. We cannot use. These are some specific meaning or purpose are there. We will see all the applications. When to use none, when to use true, when to use not, when to use pass, and so on. Next, we'll talk about the data type. So it says the type of the data present inside the variable. So data type says which type of data is there. Python is dynamically typed programming language. What do you mean by that? The type will be assigned to the variable automatically. So in C, we use integer a is equal to 10. But in Python, it is in C. But in Python, it is okay. So it is dynamically, it is understood. It is understood that the value of a is, the data type of a is what? It is an integer. In C, for floating point, we have to write a is equal to 10. But if you write in Python a is equal to 10.0, it is understood that the variable type is what? It is a floating point. Okay, so in other language, specifically, we have to specify the type, which type of it should be. But based on the data we provide, Python automatically assigned associated data type. So a is equal to 7. Which type of it is what? It is a type is what? It is an integer type. So you can see the output. Okay, you can see the output. You just reduce some length so that we can print everything. Here also we can reduce some. Okay. Now a is equal to 7. What is the type? It is the integer type. 7.5. What is the type? It is a float. A is equal to 1.2 E3. What do you meaning by that? 1.2 E3. That means it is 1.2 into 10 to the power 3. That means 1200. It's a floating point. Okay. Similarly, 1.2 E8. That means what? 1.2 into 10 to the power 8. That means what? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The meaning of that. Okay. Acha, next. This is what our, it's a type is what? It's a complex. A is equal to true. If you write A is equal to true or A is equal to false, so automatically the type will be what? It's a boolean. A is equal to Himalaya. So A is equal to A, B, C or A is equal to A, B, C, the meaning is same. Both are string type. Okay, so output you can say 7, 7.5, 1.1200, 7 plus 6, that's a complex, true. Okay, Himalaya, okay, Himalaya. So these are what data types, and why it is called dynamically. No, explicitly we no need to specify which type of data type. So based on the data, automatically it will assign the data type. So different more other data types are also there. So the data types are what we can see. So we can see the list of the data types here. We have just ignored. So the list of the data types are what? Integer, float, complex, boolean, string, bytes, byte array, range, list, tuple, set, frozen set, dictionary, and null. So how many types are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 different data types are there in Python. Okay, so you can see this example. So here also you can reduce some space so that I can explain it properly. Okay, so here range 10, that means what? It is from 0 to 9. Okay, suppose you mention range in, that means what? Starting from 0, 1 to n minus 1. If you write like range m comma n, that means what? Starting from m plus 1 to n minus 1. Okay, so range A is equal to range 10. What is the data type? It's a range type. A is equal to single bracket. Okay, first bracket 1, 2, 3. Data type is what? Tuple. Curly braces, data type. Set. We have to define, if you want to define Fourier set, so we have to write like this way. It's a Fourier set. Then if it is a key value paired, so you can see 1 is a key, A is a value. 2 is a key, B is a value. 3 is a key, C is a value. So it's a what? Key value pair. If it's a key value pair, so this is what our type is what? Dictionary. A is equal to none. What is the type? Type is what? None type. Okay, are you getting my point? So to define list, okay, one more thing. Actually, list is also then the next program. So if you want to define tuple, we use this symbol. To define set, we use this symbol. For define a dictionary. Okay, to define list, we use this symbol. So list is also there. You can see. You can see there. Here A is equal to 1, 2, 3. What is the type? Type is a list type. So here we can define the bytes, byte array. So to define bytes, we use bytes 1, 2, 3 is the value UTF-8. So for both bytes and bytes array, we may assign this one data type UTF-8. But if you don't want to write UTF-8, we have to write B, then double quote ABCD. Okay, so this is what list and the byte and byte array. Next, we discuss about the number system. So different number systems are there. So I will not discuss in detail what do you mean by number system, what do you mean by decimal, binary, octal. We have separate video on this. Okay, the channel name is Computer Organization and Architecture, where we have discussed in detail how to convert, what do meaning over that, how to convert decimal to binary manually, octal to binary, and so on. But we'll discuss here. Here we use different data types. Say A is equal to 100. b is equal to 0b10. That means this is what octal number. So to represent in decimal value, no need to specify anything. But assume it is a binary number, so we have to mention this one. So this is what our binary value. So to octal number, we have to define 0. This is what our 0, small o, then 2, 3, 4. This is what our octal number. To define decimal, hexadecimal, we use small x or capital X. Say 3FA, 3FA. This is what our hexadecimal value. So if you print it, we can get associated decimal value. 100 associated decimal value 100. 100 associated binary value is what? 4. It's the binary value associated decimal value is what? 4. 100 it is a octal value. Associated decimal value 64. 100 for both the cases. These are what hexadecimal value. Associated decimal value is what? It is a 256. It's a what? Decimal value. Okay, so 4 is a decimal value. Associated binary, this one. This is what our decimal value. Associated octal, this one. These are what our hexadecimal value. Associated hexadecimal, this one. Similarly, we can convert integer to octal, binary, and hexadecimal. 77 is an integer. We can convert it into binary. 77 is a decimal. We can convert it into octal. 77 is a decimal. We can convert it to hex. So the binary of 77, this one. The octal of 77, this one. The hexadecimal of 77 is this one. Next, we'll go for the typecasting. What do you mean by the typecasting? Okay, so this is what our next concept. It's called typecasting or type conversion. So convert one type of value to another type. So we use integer, float, complex, boolean, and string to convert into integer, float, complex, boolean, string respectively. Okay, so we can see the example one by one. So first one is what? First one is integer 100. So 100 is a decimal value, integer value. Once again, we want to convert it integer to integer. Okay, no problem. It's a floating point. We want to convert it to integer. It is 10.55. It is 10. True. What is the associated integer value? It is 1. False. What is the associated integer value? It is 0. Are you getting my point? So here we convert any value to integer value. Remember one thing, we cannot convert binary to integer value. We cannot convert complex to integer value. Next, we can convert float integer decimal to float, integer to float. We can convert float to float. We can convert boolean to float. Okay. So if you print ABC, we can see the floating point numbers. These are what? Floating point numbers. So 100, now it is 100.0. Similarly, we can convert into complex. 100 integer, we can convert into complex. 10.55, we can convert into complex. False associated complex value is what? This one. 5,2, complex 5,2. Associated complex value is what? It is this one. 5,2 plus 5 plus 2, 2j. Okay. Next, we can convert into boolean also. Say 100 associated boolean value is what? True. 10.55 associated true. False associated boolean false. 0 associated is what? False. Minus 5 associated is what? It's a true. Okay, true. Now see, what is the difference between this false and this false? It's a boolean value, but it's a string. So false associated with C is what? Which one? Third one, false. But this is what? String. So it's a true. So it actually, it will return the length of the string, I think. Okay. So if you put, if you don't put anything, what happened? So if you don't put anything, what happened? It should be true or false. It's a false. Why? Because the length of string is what? 0. Okay. Are you getting my point? So if it is a 0, always it should be false. But if it is a positive or negative number, it should be true. Okay, so 0 means false. minus 3, 3, minus 66, 67. That means true. Are you okay? So, such a similarly, you can convert into string. 100 can convert into string. Decimal, we can convert into string. Boolean, we can convert into string. 0, we can convert into string. Complex, we can convert into string. And string, we can convert into string. String to string. And these are what? Associated output. Is it okay? Then mutable and non-mutable. Mutable means what? We can change. Immutable means we cannot change the content. All fundamental data types are immutable. If a data type is immutable, then we cannot change its content. If you try to change the content, then with those changes, a new object will be created. We'll see the example. So, suppose here, uh, if you define a is equal to 10, so that means what? A contains 10. Suppose after that you want to write a is equal to 19. So it will destroy this one. It will create another variable 19. So it is called immutable. We cannot change. Immutable. Mutable means what? If it is okay. If it is okay means it is okay to change. Suppose one content is there, 2, 4, 6. You want to change. Instead of 4, it should be 14. It is okay. We can change. If it is okay to change, then it is called mutable. If you can't change, it is called immutable. Okay. So integer, float, complex, boolean, string, bytes, range, tuple, frozen set, null, all these are immutable. We cannot change. But byte array, list, set, and dictionary, these are mutable data type. Acha, when to use which variable? Suppose you need whole number or integral number, use integer. Suppose you need decimal or floating point, we have to use float. Suppose you need complex number, definitely you have to use complex. Suppose you need logical output in terms of true and false, we have to use boolean. Suppose you need set of characters, then we have to define string. Okay. Suppose you need some range, say 0 to 5 or 2, 3 to 9. In that case, we have to define range. Okay. Suppose list is what? Order collection of variable which is mutable. So to define list, we use this symbol. Tuple, order collection of values, it is immutable. So order collection means what? If you want to access the value, it will be accessed based on their insertion, as per their insertion. Okay, or you can print as per their insertion. Set is what? Unordered, and it is mutable. Okay, so for set we use this symbol. Frozen set is unordered, but it is immutable. And dictionary, if you require any key value pair, in that case you have to use dictionary, and it should be mutable. So whether you need immutable, whether you need order, then which data type you should use? If you require immutable, yes. Order, yes. What you have to write? Immutable as well as order. Which one? You have to use tuple. Immutable but not order. No. Immutable but not order. You have to use frozen set. Immutable, no. Ordered, yes. Immutable, no. Ordered, yes. You have to use set. No, 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 no. Immutable but ordered. Immutable, no. That means what? Mutable and ordered. You have to use list. Immutable, no. Ordered, no. In that case, you have to use set. Okay. Okay. So it depends upon the situation, which type of data type you want to define. Now, differently, last but not the least, we have to define the sum escape value. So /n, new line character, tab, coverage region, and so on. Suppose you want to define inside particular text, you need this single quote. We have to define like this way. You need double quote. You have to define like this way. You need slash. So we have to define like double We have to define double one. So you can see here, you can see the output. It's a new line character. D is there. Academician is printed near the next line. T stands for what? It's a tab. Acha. Unit single quote. Unit double quote. Unit slash. Can use this one. So these are few special characters. Okay. So that's the end of this particular video. Thank you very much.